Oh shit! I keep the standby because I didn't start using it until Alex came. Welcome to Bass and Brews podcast. As you can see tonight, yet again, we don't have Swamp Rat fishing. Swamp Rat is headed back to the West Coast for his last tour that I hope it's over with in a few months and he can get back here so I can go back to being the pretty face. And I'll tell you what, it's been rough. It's been rough. But tonight we got this is gonna be a different show for you. We got some content creators in here, some not big ones. Don Trail creates a lot of good content, but we have the Tar Heel Lunker, my teammates for this weekend's tournament against I don't know, the Alabama Hammers, or I don't know what
the Hammers
is. Who?
The Bama Hammers.
The Bama Hammers. They none of them want to come on the podcast and talk shit tonight, so we're gonna talk shit about them since they ain't here. But yeah, we got a couple. We might have one or two more hop on here later. But here we are, Tar Heel Lunkers. This ain't the whole team, but this is two of the four, and then our coach, Mr. Dave, who y'all should know Dave now. Dave's a friend of the podcast. He has been on quite a few times, and his Crank podcast did great. But he told me tonight, he said, "Man, I ain't staying on no damn 2:00 this morning." I said, "Me either." But Don Trail, on the other hand, he might be over here by himself talking 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That's fine. That's Bass and Brews, how we roll. Look at here, how you fellas doing tonight? Don Trail, since you the real guest tonight, how you doing, Hoss?
Oh, wow. Pretty good.
Look, man, this Bass and Brews. First of all, we need your undivided attention. And
he's match studying, man. He's match studying for Saturday still, man. I know what he's doing.
No,
you said he's on
my
MySpace?
laptop screen is like here, but I have like multiple screens for work. So I have like the podcast pulled up on the big screen, but like it looks like I'm not looking at you.
It does. It does. You making me feel. You giving me a complex. I mean, I'm already fat. I don't need somebody to think I ain't pretty. Dave, how you doing, Hoss?
I'm good, man. You gave me a self-promotion I don't deserve. I don't know where Coach came from. I'm just facilitator.
I don't know. All I know is you were directly in charge of the live feed on Saturday. So that means I don't have to worry about doing nothing but smiling and cussing and probably tearing shit up on my kayak the whole damn day. And everybody gets a front row seat into the debauchery, which is jabberhammer fishing.
And you call that coach? I call it. I'm the dumb idiot that volunteered to sit in front of a computer for 10 hours a day where I can be out fishing instead. But hey, each his own. We'll see how it goes. You know, we'll hope it goes well. But it's all about the fishing.
Don Trail, what you sipping on tonight?
Some Corona Premier.
Oh man, you can't fuck with money. This man got the Corona Premier. Like, I mean, it ain't the light. It ain't. I only until had their regular Corona. It's the Premier. I tell you what, Dave, what you sipping on tonight?
Man, this is last minute, but I'm gonna represent the east side, the Sierra Nevada of the East Coast, out of Mills River, North Carolina. I'm trying to. If Mr. Sullivan out on the West Coast ever, on Greg Blanchard's little channel ever watches this, man, I'd love to get a hookup on the east side. They've got the lockdown on the west side, but I want to ship my kayak in a beer truck one day. That's
there you go. Well, first of all, putting your hand behind a green label with the light shining on it, don't do nothing, buddy.
See, I got
that ain't how it works.
My makeup lights. Light.
But on the side note,
it looks like a white label.
I can tell it's the makeup light because you got good lighting going on. I can tell you stole your woman's makeup light.
Here we go.
Yeah, see, there you go.
There we go. We'll keep it off.
It's good for beer, but it ain't good for you. Turn the light back on, man. You're scaring the kids out there.
Oh, hey, easy. Look, the shadows behind me. Oh, wait, it's over here.
The second thing is, I can almost guarantee you out of the 10s to 20s minus 30 of fans and listeners of Bass and Brews, Greg probably ain't one of them.
It ain't Greg I worry about. It's who they call Santa Claus out there. The heartbeat of the brewery. That's the guy I want to get in with. I had my chance at the expo. Real quick. So we were at the expo in Greenville a couple months ago.
Quite a few months ago, but yeah, the Bassmasters event,
Bassmaster Classic
Classic
Expo.
Expo. Yeah.
When we were in line for the kayak weigh-in outside, there was a Wicked Weed beer truck, and the poor little lady in there trying to pour beer, and it was nothing but foam and head. Terrence Sullivan and Mike Ensign were over there trying to help her out, and I just sat back and watched. I was like, she has no idea who she's talking to right now. That dude. I mean, that dude pretty much birthed Sierra Nevada, from what I understand. He was there from day one. Anyways, enough about that. I'm drinking a Sierra Nevada OG Pale Ale.
Nice. I look. They didn't have my regular old Bud Light stuff I've been drinking because I think I might have the allergies too. What?
Bud Light. Your regular was the White Claw. What happened? Have I been gone that long?
All right, Matt's coming back. Yeah. See, you don't listen to the podcast unless you're on here. I can tell. And
well, I listened to yours when you were in charge, but the other guy's been. What's his name? Alex? I haven't watched him since he's been here. I only watched him leading the show.
You hear that swamp rat fishing? You have made the country folk give it up. And not in a good way either. No, man. Bob been drinking some White Claw and I got the itchies and some hives on me. So I started drinking the Bud Light to see if that helped, and it helped. But they didn't have none at the Sheets.
So you're back to the itchies.
So I'm gonna be itching all day driving that hot ass damn truck. Matt Dunn, look y'all, before we get any farther, we got Matt Dunn. You know, I hate to say this word because it's one of the most overused words in fucking fishing. Hammer and juice. I mean, I wish somebody had to give me $1 every time they use those two stupid ass words or the hammer emojis. I mean, I know I'm touching on a couple folks here using that damn word back. That shit's overused, but this guy really is a hammer. He be catching fish all the time. And you're here. What's up? Dave, we ain't talking about you now, but we talking about Matt.
I'm talking about the hammer.
Oh, yeah. With your $84 bottle opener.
That's right. $8,000 markup.
Yeah,
Matt Dunn, what's up?
I don't know about me being a hammer, but I know I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so, are you drinking anything tonight? Are you just pulling on ports?
I can go grab a White Claw. The wife's got White Claw.
Don't blame it on the wife, but yeah, go grab one because we all cracking something open. You ain't got to call them your wives. I drink White Claws too.
Well, I don't like them, but let me go see what I got. Hang on.
It don't matter. They all taste the same. Just grab one. You ain't got to drink it. Just crack it open and give it to your wife. She comes in. She'll be happy. You thought, baby, I got you a beer.
Yeah, you might have it. Yeah. All right.
Shit, give me. Matt, we might shotgun. Grab two.
Oh my goodness, sugar headache in a can. Here we go.
No, man, it ain't got no sugar. At 2 grams. This got less carbs than any beer on the market.
Because it's not a beer.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why my stomach don't hurt and I don't feel overweight the next morning.
Well, they call it Bass and Brews. Is it really a brew? That's my question. We're getting into nomenclature here.
We don't discriminate. We've had folks crack open water, coffee, Cokes, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Thunder. I mean, it don't damn matter. Look,
Mountain Roar, Mountain Lion, all those good ones. Yeah, buddy.
I don't crack it open. Oh, he done fucked up. You're going to have to go get another one, Matt. We all crack them open together.
Oh, Jesus.
He's going to be here a while.
Look, I said an hour to an hour and a half, and Matt's already got us in here 12 minutes late. But anyway, no, it don't matter. We don't discriminate. A brew is anything you want to sit back and enjoy. If you were sitting around a campfire talking shit, talking fishing, you're going to drink whatever you want to drink.
A spot of tea, eh? A spot of tea?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? If tea is your fancy, I will Emily post a delicious hot tea. No sugar.
Love it.
Yeah. Dontrell, you drink hot tea or sweet tea?
Sweet tea.
Okay. Hey, I know Dave ain't listened, but Dontrell, Matt, did y'all listen to the episode we have with Chris Wins a Kayak on? No, see, I got people on here only listen to the podcast. It don't matter to give you a recap. Chris Wins a Kayak we're gonna have him back on because we had some technical difficulties that made that podcast really difficult. But anyway, he's from Long Island, and I had to make sure he knew that Long Island iced tea was not as good as Southern iced tea.
Yeah, probably.
That's it. That almost exactly sounds exactly the way he said it, and he was like, "Does that have alcohol?" Oh, we got a creeper.
Yes, hey buddy, I'm online.
We got our children of the corn peeking through the doors.
Now I got a 4-legged dog at my feet, so we'll see how it goes. Let's crack
Matt,
a beer.
What you got? You the last one before we crack these up. It's been the longest crack open beer. At least I didn't forget it this time. Thanks, Dave. What you got there? What kind of White Claw?
It's a Yingling. I don't know. It's not what I normally drink. My beer of choice is Natural Light.
But that Yingling ain't White Claw. Are you confused, or are we just trying to?
No, I mean,
found that one in the back of the fridge.
Look, he probably pulled that one out the pantry. It's still hot.
He went next door to the neighbor and said, "Hey man, give me a beer."
All right, let's crack these open. Y'all ready?
All
3, 2, 1.
All right,
Youngsies. So I brought these young whippersnappers. We're missing, as we said before, Matt, Dontrell, and myself are competing. Our fourth team member for the KFL against the Alabama Ball Peen Hammers is Steve. And Steve's not here. Steve runs the Boo Boo bus, and they've been quite busy. I guess they've been having a bunch of old lady with the farts that need to go to the hospital to get enemas or something. But anyway, he can't make it. So we got our coach Dave in his stead.
Yeah.
But Saturday, this Saturday, is the opening day of the KFL. I don't know if you know what the KFL is. Go look it up. Now, if you go to the website, you ain't going to find much of nothing. You go to the Facebook page or message somebody in the KFL to get answers to your questions. So that's what I had to do.
Yeah. Figure it out. It's going to be pretty cool.
But opening weekend, I'm super excited. I begged and pleaded and aggravated the ever-loving shit out of Matthew Ortenzi until he finally relented and gave up his spot and brought me on. I'm sure he's going to regret it, just like the other people that voted for me to come on. But anyway, I'm here now. So I'm going to kind of recap real quick. We the Tar Heel Lunkers down here in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. There we go.
Yep.
And Dave is on the team. He's just not competing this weekend. He's a member. He's a hopefully contributing member. Matt,
Hopefully.
Dontrell, y'all fished on Tar Heel Lunkers, which was y'all made the playoffs out of 17 teams last year. You made the playoffs. Give us a quick little recap of the Lunker season last year and what you thought of it.
Dontrell, you want to take it away? You pretty much.
I mean, it was basically a learning experience throughout the whole first season, but it was fun. Because it was the first year, we did a lot of traveling. A lot of teams did a lot of traveling because teams were spread out, especially down here in the South. We had to go all the way to Kissimmee, I believe, for the second week.
Fellsmere.
Yeah, to Fellsmere Lake to face the Florida Copperheads. I don't think what other way we had. We didn't go to Alabama until the playoffs, and then we played Norfolk in what was the Chickahominy River.
Yeah.
So notice we've expanded the season 2 more games this year. Last year was only six games. We ended up 3-3, but we beat the Privateers to take that last playoff spot.
2 times.
Yeah,
on their home water. On their home, didn't you beat them on their home water to clinch it too? Right?
No, we needed that one because we lost to the Casters on Jordan the previous week, so we needed to steal an away game, and we got that at the Chickahominy, and then a couple weeks later they came to McIntosh, I think. and that was like the play, like win and end game. And so we won that, and we got the spot from them to get into the playoffs.
For those of you who care, the Carolina Castors are also a team out of North Carolina. They're the Greensboro, Burlington, the Triad area, where we're the Triangle area. Who the hell beat who? What I know it wasn't a team effort. Who beat y'all from the Castors on Jordan? Who was it?
It was a bad day. I mean, it was a low scoring game for everybody because it was just a bad day on Jordan.
Who won it for the Castors? Though it had to be. I know it was one of them. It had to be Steven.
I can't remember.
Oh, Eric.
Let me see.
Eric did pretty good. I do remember that it was an off day because we had a pretty rigorous thunderstorm front come in that morning. We kind of got lucky at the lake proper, but it was in conjunction. Eric had a pretty good day.
Did it. Yeah, he caught 4 fish, and that's what did it.
I know 1 or 2 places he caught them fish, and one of them was up on the northern end of the lake, and it was at the southern end of the lake. That'd be my guess if I had to guess where he caught them.
We won't share secrets. I know where he launched those, but
yeah.
I know. The other guys that aren't here, Steve and Mike Wimmer fished, and I mean, from what I understand, they caught, quite a few fish, just no keeper size. So one of the things with KFL is, most trails have either some have an 8, but most have 10 or 12-inch limit, and KFL is a 14-inch limit. Small.
I like that. I like that.
I do too. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, they caught. I think upwards of 20-some fish in an area, but just couldn't get any big ones. But yeah, that was an off day at Jordan.
I should have fished that day. I fished the CCKF event that day instead of the KFL event on Jordan, and I think I finished 4th in that one. I should have fished KFL that day.
But you made up for it. You ended up being the AOY TOC winner, whatever it was for CCKF.
I was 2nd in Angler of the Year, and I won the tournament.
You won the TOC.
Hey,
I would have given him a run for the money on the TOC. I lost 2 fish. I lost about a 5-pounder that morning, and then I had one come off later that day. But I fucked myself up because my battery had been dying for my graph, leading like earlier and earlier. And so when I was fishing shallow in the morning, I had it on. I should have turned it off because where I was fishing, it was kind of windy that day. We had like 15-mile-per-hour winds, and I was fishing the old railroad bed. And so it was blowing me around. Well, I'd had my anchor set, but my anchor I caught a fish, and my anchor pulls off, but I had a boot. I didn't have a buoy down. I didn't throw a buoy like I usually do because I was anchored, but I had a pin. Anyway, my graph dies, so I never could line up right again to fish it shit, and that was it. It killed me dead. Matt, so thanks Dontrell for that. Gave us a good recap on the season. What happened in the playoff game, Matt?
Well, I wasn't in the playoff game, but so how many of your viewers here do you think know exactly what the KFL is and exactly how it works?
Oh no, we've only got like 7 or 8, so probably half of a person knows what the fuck the KFL is.
Do you think those 3.5 people will be interested in understanding how it works?
Not 3.5, just a half a person.
That one half a guy.
Probably not into intricacies of it. They'd probably be more inclined to, give them the high level rundown. Greg does a good job of this about it's the NFL and it's shaped like the NFL, and we have teams in that. If you can give the high level, they don't care about the intricacies of it. They just want people come on this podcast for 3 things: me, alcohol, and debauchery. I mean, and I can't make a 3 with this hand right, so I have to do it this way, and everybody picks on me. But anyway, can't make it even. That's my 3 with my left hand.
So he was a punter, not a quarterback. Here's why, guys.
Whoa. No. And high schools are all region quarterbacks. So don't go there. It's all region basketball,
do it like that?
baseball, and football. I know.
Yeah,
Look,
box-
man, shit. I ain't got to be able to make a three to throw a football.
Do it like this.
Well,
Yeah, two-handed.
Hail Mary.
Rugby style.
Sorry.
No,
I digress.
I guess who did y'all ended up the first round of playoffs last year? The Lunkers lost to who would become the champions, right?
No, we
No?
lost to the
Okay.
Hammers.
yeah, we
Yeah,
all
fuck them. Whoever they are.
yeah.
The Hammers that were the Hammers that aren't the Hammers because they're the Kusa, but
Kingfish.
Some of the
Who's Kingfishers?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hammer Kusa. I don't know. Something happened, but so there's kind of like you got part of the handful of the people that were on the Hammers last year branched off and started their own thing, the Kusa Kingfishers, and we will be visiting them in a couple of weeks. Well, I'll say we, the Lunkers, will be on Neely Henry because surprise, that's their only lake they fish. But and I'm trying to be kind when I say that, but we choose home lakes. It takes the fun out of it whenever all your home lakes are just one lake. I mean, it's fun and good to catch fish, but you gotta. What's so cool about this is you get to break down a body of water, whether it be your home lake or your away lake. It's all the work that goes into fishing a normal event. And when I say that, I mean like from a kayak, because let's face it, I said this earlier today and I said it yesterday. If guys like us that fished in kayak were in bass boats, we'd be dangerous. If we had a way that we could really, really cover water and go from spot to spot to spot, we would be on fire because guys in kayaks, it takes so much research for a tournament to be able to figure out, okay, what do I think the fish are doing? Do I think they're going to be doing so and so up north or so and so down here? And you could have similar patterns that run all throughout the lake, but a lot of times, typically, you'll have fish doing different things down south as opposed to up north. So it's cool to be able to break down the water. And with that being said, it's cool being able to do that as a team.
Yeah, you put me in a bass boat and let me drive it, I'm cutting off every kayak angler I see. Fuck those assholes. All they do is take up boat ramp space. They get in the way when you're trying to fish deep. I mean,
All fish. Yeah.
I'll say this though, like trying to spread out those home games, and last year y'all picked Randleman. And last year was my first year fishing in the tournaments, and I might make somebody mad on this shit, but last year I didn't know y'all very well at the beginning of the year, and I'd heard of KFL from y'all talking about it, and just kind of my reaching out into this world, and I was really excited about it. I was like, hell yeah, I want to do that one day. And then I think Randleman, when we fished that with CCKF, I think it was early in the season, right? Wasn't that like a March tournament?
That was
last
April.
year.
April.
Because y'all had a preseason game against the Casters on that. But then, and so I started following the Casters and the Lunkers. And when y'all said random, I was like, why in the fuck did they choose random? And when they got Jordan Falls and Harris, like right here. And I was like, but the other thing is I asked that question because we have all these lakes right here, right? Where everybody that I know in the team, for the majority, is right here. But then all I heard from everybody was like how much they hate random. I was like, why the fuck would you pick it as a home lake?
Well, I learned to hate it because that day in April when we had our first like preseason game, the Casters challenged the Lunkers to a preseason game, and it was all 8 of their guys against all 8 of our guys, and it was gonna go on concurrently with the CCKF event.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally went into that thing like, well, I'm gonna do right by my team here, and I wound up winning the CCKF event. Mm-hmm. So I fell in love with Randleman until what was it, July? It was late June or July when the Hammers, actually Alabama Hammers, came down and beat us that afternoon. And it was tough. It was tough that day. And then conveniently enough, the Carolina Casters are going to have us Ran in about a month now.
July 23rd.
If you haven't noticed, we have a lot of reason to beat the shit out of the Hammers this weekend. Like they beat us at home on Randomin and then beat us in the playoffs, the wild card last year. But I mean, the whole reason for that is because we tried to pick home lakes and then still try to be able to double dip into our local trails, and that kind of bit us in the ass because that we wouldn't have picked Randomin if there wasn't a CCKF or CKA event going on.
But the season started later this year, right?
No, about the same time, about June, July.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Which that's a big lesson learned too, because we've kind of avoided that this year. There's two really local trails, a third if you really branch out to Queen City, but we discussed like, hey, the KFL takes priority, and we've worked around it, so we're not double dipping this year because we kind of learned that's kind of a bad idea.
And you think about it, we've got our two trails here. I don't know what they're averaging this year, both of them, but I'm sure it's between 40 and 50 kayak anglers. Yeah. And so you put 50 on Sharon Harris. There's 2 launches on Sharon Harris. Now, there's a couple other places you can launch from, but most people aren't. Most people are launching from Cross Point and Holloman's. 50 kayak anglers on Sharon Harris takes up a lot of fucking real estate. Yeah. Sharon Harris fishes small. It's got huge chunks of the lake up by the power plant that are cut off. You can't get to it. It fishes small. There's only so many points there.
And I've seen tournaments been 90 plus there.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, the summer tournament there last year where we had 60, I think it was, or 50 or whatever it was. Man, I couldn't fish every. It was what was that, June? So we had all the pleasure boaters and then all the kayak anglers. So every damn point out there was taken. I mean, it was tough to fish, but double dipping. I'm glad we didn't do that this year for the mere fact that when you go to the home lakes we're going to in Jordan, Sharon, Harrison Falls, if we were to choose those lakes, are big lakes compared to the other lakes we would have chose, which would McIntosh or Randleman. Those are small. Those are fucking ponds. Them 8 lakes, they big ponds.
Well, Randleman, so much you can't get to really unless you want to wait in line at the big boat ramp.
Yeah, well, then you can't start until like 8 o'clock. But you take those 2 lakes and you try to double dip on there when you got 50 people. Man, that puts you at a huge disadvantage. Not us and the other team. It makes it not for a great fishing experience. And let's be real, we want to be in the KFL because it's on TV and because you get some exposure. I mean, you got Don Trail just signed on with Carolina Paddle Sports.
Carolina
Waters.
Carolina Waters. Look, I'm colorblind. I'm colorblind. Don't pick on me how I read.
Y'all looking at my nipple, Paul. Stop it, you dirty bitch. You don't cussing. I can't cuss. What's up with that? No. Congratulations, BT. You deserve it. This is going to be your year, Daddy-O. I know it.
No. I hope you finish second and everything behind me, John Trail. And I mean that with my whole heart. I don't ever hope anybody gets skunked, but I hope you don't catch no fish bigger than me. Look, I'm going to go out there and whoop everybody's ass.
I hope I don't catch a fish bigger than you either, because he's going to be busy for a couple hours out there getting towed around.
Yeah. Man, I caught a 6-pound catfish on a drop shot at Harris on Saturday morning. It took me forever. I was like, will this bitch please pop off? I know the knot I'd tie for my braid to fluoro is strong because, first of all, it took him 2 minutes to get out the brush pile. And then it dragged me all over the main lake of Harris back and forth for 5 minutes. I was hoping he'd break me off. I tried to break. I set the drag and tried to break him off, and he wouldn't break off.
What kind of lead are you tying? FG?
Well, I don't know what the name of the fucking knots I tie are. I just tie the fucking knots, and they don't come loose. Every time I get snagged, I lose a crankbait because the line pops and my knot doesn't come loose. So I don't know what the hell it's called. I put the lines together. I make a loop. I go through the loop. I pull it, and then I tie a fisherman's knot or some kind of cinch it down and lick it and call it good and cut off the tag ends and go fishing.
You lick it and then cinch it, or cinch it and then lick it.
It doesn't matter. I haven't lost anything either other way. I just tie it as fast as I can tie it. That's, it might have 4 loops in it. It might have 10 loops in it. It doesn't matter to what I've done. And look, I've caught some big fish. I don't have knots fail. Like my shit breaks. I don't care. I just tie the damn lure on there. So I call it. I think it's the fisherman's knot. I loop it around. I take it back through the loop, back under the loop, and that's what I don't know.
Bad fisherman's knot that fails.
I don't know. Ain't no captain fucking tying knots down here. I don't know. It don't matter, right?
Yeah.
As long as it's tight, don't matter.
That's what she said. Hey-oh! All right. Going into this season, the Lunkers added a couple new folks, right? They added Dave. You got added. Is this your first full year, or were you added last year late?
Well, no, I didn't fish it all. This is my first full year. I officially agreed to sign up, I think, around November last year. So this is my first full year. Yeah.
And then, was I the only other new addition?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So y'all added 2 new guys that come in with thinking we're A1 sauce that we're about to put on some steaks and fuck it all up. I mean, that's kind of what y'all did.
Yeah, but I don't see that.
A1 sauce don't go on steaks; it goes on hamburgers.
The way all this went down, I don't see any of it being a mistake. I don't. But Dave has got the bull by the horn.
Dave can fish now. He gonna fish. He gonna fish.
Yeah, I'm talking about more than that. Like, he is behind the scenes. He's doing a lot, and now each Dontrell is too. But I mean, it's this season has been a whole lot different than last season. There's so many extra teams. The way that KFL is doing things now is a lot different than it was last year because of all the new teams, and Dave has just been a lifesaver, honestly. I mean,
well, him and Dontrell run the damn Facebook page. They send out the invites. They run the spreadsheets. Like, they literally do all the shit that nobody else wants to do.
Or the dummies like me can't do. I don't know how to do that. You want me to fix it? I can fix something. I can weld a piece of pipe.
Which we might need we might need sooner or later, buddy. So,
well, your trailer ton breaks going down the interstate like Drew Gregory. We got Matt Dunn on our team. He's gonna go out there with a car battery and 2 pieces of graphite and weld that bitch back together to get us home.
8 minutes later, we're on the road again.
That's what I'll do. I guess I'm in I don't know, last year I was in more of a point man role, and I guess this year I'm in more of a leadership role. And my whole thing is that I just want everyone to do what they feel comfortable with. And with that being said, Dave has absolutely stepped up so much more than he should have, probably. And my appreciation to him is just hands down. It's just amazing. And that's what I'm saying, that the way all this happened with we lost Jeremy, and then Matthew stepped back, and then you 2 guys are here now. That's what was supposed to happen. It's not, man. And here we are. And we're not messing around this year either. That's the thing. Like, last year I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna ride to Florida, we're gonna do our best, try to figure these fish out. It was fun. So much fun. We got our asses handed to us. This year, it's a whole different ball game. So we've got very important people on this team that belong on this team, and you guys and the rest of the guys that are not on here right now, they are the Lunkers. They are the Tar Heel Lunkers, and we're not playing.
Yeah, and we got these folks on here tonight, minus Steve on the Boo Boo bus, because we're fishing the first tournament, but we've got five or three other guys that aren't on here that are part of the team, and that maybe sometime in the future we'll have another Lunkers. I thought this one was good because there's been Greg's been on a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of excitement for the start of the season coming up. And I just thought this was a good time to be able to get us all in here and kind of talk about it. And I tried to get some of the Alabama ball peen hammers on, the little teeny ones that you tink tink with. And because I talked to one guy, they ain't on here, so the hell with them. The hell with them. I hope when they get here, I hope their boats get filled with water. I hope they still catch fish, but I hope they have to pedal around with boats half filled with water. Look, that's the thing too. Is you talk about bringing people on. Look, I'm strictly here to talk shit and entertain, and I'm going to catch fish, or I'm not going to catch fish. Like I don't have no in between, right? Some people can catch fish, and some people still catch fish. I either do or I don't.
Well,
but I'm here to entertain, and if y'all get thirsty, I'll put my ass down there and bring you some of my water, and I might drink out of it, but I'll bring you cold water.
We didn't hire a water boy. Okay.
Look, I will troll my ass down there. I will troll that DD22.
I think what Matt's trying to say is
bring your water.
I think we're trying to say we hired a guy that's dumb enough to go out in I don't know what you call it, a hurricane snowstorm with lightning and hail and look like the North Atlantic. You're out there catching 5-pounders. That's the guy we hired. I think that's what
he's twice.
getting
The
to.
second time I didn't catch nothing. I just had everybody. Everybody in their boats were trying to get the Holloman's Landing, and I'm out there, just making sure I'm
getting at it.
Waves and everything. And people are over like, oh my god! Matter of fact, I got to post that video. I got so much fucking video I got to post. I just did drop a new reaction video to Bailey Egbrecht's latest tournament win. He's been on a roll. Be the Fish from Serious Angler. Y'all go check that out. But what's Don Trail? Matt, Dave, what is the outlook for the Lunkers going into this season? What are the expectations? And then give your honest opinion on what you think is going to happen. And honest opinion, just like, look, man, we play some tough teams. We might fucking suck at these waters because our anglers ain't good. Give honest opinions on what the expectations are, and then what you potentially see happening.
Well, I'll take a stab at it because, like you, Paul, I'm the new guy to this. I didn't experience it like the guys last year, so I can, for me, it's like I know some of these guys now. We fished a lot throughout the off season and got to know them. So for me, it's just it's camaraderie and preparation as a team. I think we've proven, just like any other team's going to have their strengths, their weaknesses, but I think the way we can play into them. Is a little bit different, and I just have a feeling about that. I haven't seen it come to fruition, but I just have a hunch that's for me it's preparation, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I appreciate what Matt said about it, me coming in and whatever, but it's not like I saw what was broken could fix it. I just saw opportunity, right? Like what do y'all need help with? How can we improve? Like and everybody's stepped up. I mean, the guys on here, Mike Wimmer, Steve Perry, absolutely got after it with our sponsorships. I mean, all the sponsors we're grateful for. That's the thing people got to understand about KFLs. We are funded by sponsors. It's not like we're paying our little tournament fees on our own and going out and fishing. I mean, there's a lot of logistics behind the scenes, travel, breaking down water. I mean, yeah, we're fishing against other teams, and you can go the whole gamut. I think one of the beauties of KFL is, yeah, there's household names on there. There's teams that are absolutely stacked with names that and see on all these national tours. But you got me that nobody knows, and we're going to make noise. And there's other teams out there with people on those teams that they're going to make noise. There's grassroots trails from Texas all the way up to Maine, and I think that's the beauty of KFL is it gives that exposure to showcase. So for me, it's preparation. I mean, all I want to do is there's so much behind the scenes, whether it's KFL as its own entity is doing great things, and you got to understand they're still in the infancy. They've, increased their capacity by a third after just the first year. A lot of moving parts to it, and yeah, there's a lot of growing pains, a lot of frustrations, and part of it's just let's figure it out. Let's stay level headed. Let's get it done in the off season so that when June 4th rolls around, it's lines in. That's all I want to help out with this team is just make sure we're prepared wherever we go, whether it's home or away. But expectations, yeah, there's some tough teams out there, but I think if the team proved itself last year to go 3-3 and make the playoffs and make a little noise and put a thorn in the Privateer's side that we beat them twice, that lays the groundwork for for even better things this year. We got 8 games. I don't think 6-2 is too lofty of a goal. Honestly, we've been pretty strategic, I think, in where we've chosen to fish our home lakes.
Who are the
I
two
feel
losses? You said 6-2. Who are the two losses?
put me on the spot here, man. Now,
Look, if you're going to throw out numbers and statistics, you better be willing to back it up. Who are the two losses? I don't give a fuck about the wins. Who are the two losses?
He's talking about 7-1 because 1 week's a bye week.
that's
You
what I was
lose the
gonna
bye
say.
week, buddy.
7-1. Well, honestly, if we're prepared, I like the bodies of water we're going to go to. I think honestly, I'm not going to lie to say that Neely Henry is the curveball.
Okay. All right.
Neely,
What-
Dontrell was there
what-
last year.
Where are we
Go
at
ahead.
a disadvantage that you think we're going to have two losses?
I think Neely Henry's the biggest challenge. I think
Okay.
everyone knows it's no secret. That's a current driven lake. If they're pulling water, good things happen. If they're not, it's going to be a slow bite. It's going to be miserable. We've already gotten kind of a last minute shake up on some things, and yeah, it's a lot of travel, very limited practice time, but
And we aren't and most of the folks on the Lunkers team aren't we don't have a lot of current in our lakes. I don't draw a ton of water.
you put
So
Dontrell on any kind of current, I don't care if it's Tyler or not, he's going to find them. So
he is, yeah. Dontrell does.
He's,
Hey, you brought up a great point too, and this leads to Matt, and it leads to Dontrell in a part. You have a lot of folks that are people see on these teams that they never heard of, that are those local anglers, that are the hammers, the local hammers that they could compete with anybody, but they just can't travel. The KFL with these sponsorships and how a team gets sponsors and how much money they get means that some of these people like Matt who doesn't travel the country or the region, it gives some of these folks that don't have the opportunity to travel because of financial restrictions, the KFL and these teams, the way they've raised money has given an opportunity for some of these folks to get out there and fish on the national scene. And I think there's two things that come from that. One, it shows them that they can compete with the other people. Or two, it shows them they're better off staying their ass at home and taking all the local money.
Yeah.
That's the two ways that it goes, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you can win $5,000-$10,000 fishing your local waters, why the hell would you go out and win maybe $1,000 traveling all over the country? It don't make no damn sense. You stay your ass at home and you take those po ass people's money. But the KFL has made it where folks, I think, have that opportunity to travel and get out on that national stage and get their name out there where they wouldn't have before because they didn't have the sponsors, because they couldn't afford it financially. KFL does that. And Dontrell, he's traveled to Potomac 2 years in a damn row and finished third boat 2 years in a row, right? Right, Dontrell?
Third and fifth.
Third and fifth. And Dontrell does great at tournaments down here. But that's where he travels. He's traveled to Potomac, and every time he goes there,
ask Norfolk why we ain't going to Chickahominy again. They'll tell you.
So that I think, man, that's one of the great things about the KFL that I've seen is it's going to give some of these folks that are the local, really good anglers locally that financial opportunity to go fish in some of these other waters, and it all comes down. Let's be in the fishing market. You're trying to get money from sponsors, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
discounts. We go on the whole get discounts. Discounts is less money you're paying, or if they're giving you shit, your pro staff or promotional staff, it doesn't matter. But having that national coverage and that national recognition puts you in a position to ask for bigger discounts or ask for more money. So
yeah. Well, and I'll say one thing too. I mean, the two other guys on our team we hadn't mentioned yet, Justin Faircloth. If you ask Greg Nosar who his favorite person is right now, he's going to want Justin on his team. And I think KFL, kudos to them. They've done enough in the off season to promote and give opportunities. And yeah, Justin, local hammer. He's done his fair share of national events as well and made a little noise. But that guy and Chris Decker, who's going to fish with hopefully later in the season.
Travels all over the country. Yeah,
travels all the country, Bassmaster. But he won an event last year and has already won an event this year locally. So to give
lakes he
it
hadn't
takes one
been
up
to.
there. Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. So
and then we got Mike Winter. So the ones that aren't here right now: Justin Faircloth, Christopher Decker, and Mike Wimmer. Those are the ones that are here, and we'll have them on probably at a later time. I'm only fishing one more tournament this year. Unfortunately, with my schedule, that's all I could do. It'd be the McIntosh one, which McIntosh, look, man, you want to catch 9-10 pound fish? Who's our team on McIntosh?
Casters, I think.
We're playing the Casters, yeah.
It's the Casters.
Ugh. Man, damn. I was hoping it was going to be somebody fun. Damn. Now I got to talk shit to Steven. I do hate I'm missing the Heiko tournament because I think my boy Jordan Marshall is going to be fishing that.
Really?
And I think Dan Perry and Jordan Marshall, my boys, are going to be fishing that. And I'm not going to be able to fish that one. But even if I could, I wouldn't probably make many casts. I would just like bumper.
Bring the pontoon and a big cooler. You can be team support. We'll take you out there. We can let you give them a couple drinks if you have to.
I was just gonna follow them around and hit them with my boat. But oh shit, I'm colorblind. I didn't see you there. Hey Matt, turn your phone back to landscape mode, Hoss.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he froze up. Damn.
He's done stuck.
All right, Don Trail. So tell us about the same questions asked Dave 35 minutes ago about expectations. What's your expectations? You this is your second year. Expectations.
Refill. No, I mean expectations are pretty spot on with Dave's. I mean we do face a couple new teams. Virginia Reapers is a new team. They're the second team out of Virginia this year. So they're a new team.
Who's on that team? Do you remember who that is?
I don't know. The only person I know is Michael Thornton. And that's just from being on Facebook. I don't know him personally. But I know he's like the owner of the team. And they'll have us at and they'll have us on the river later on the season. So
they done fucked up. They obviously did not look at who Don Trail Willis is. Ain't that right? A Super Bowl winning pitcher right here on Bass and Brews.
Yeah, I just forgot
record books.
I just forgot the E on my name when I signed in.
But we ain't worried about no spelling down here. Half the people look, we only got 5 people listening to this podcast, and we had to pay them. They don't care.
None of that money's coming out of my wallet. How do we know how many people we got on here?
Oh, it ain't live, buddy. Well, Matt, you weren't here for the rule section of this. This ain't live, but whatever happens and whatever is said stays because we don't do no editing. So it's not live, but it ain't edited either. So Matt, expectations. Don Trail was pretty much on the same boat there as Dave. What are your expectations for the year? And you're in a leadership role. Second year, you're in a leadership role. You're kind of the father figure of the
And
team.
somehow or another, I don't know how that happened.
I don't know
but
how either. I mean, you too damn skinny to be a daddy. Look at my fat ass.
I know.
mean, but look. I don't know how we picked the skinniest motherfucker on this team to carry us, y'all. We're gonna
Yeah,
break his little back. He about as short as Alex. I mean, Alex ain't but 4'6". That's Swamp Rat Fishing. He ain't but 4'6". Damn, Matt Dunn ain't but like 5'11 and a half. Maybe he might be 5'13". I don't know. So Matt, tell us about your expectations for the year.
I mean, we're gonna win. That's the whole thing. Like, we're in this to win it, and I think that last year we kind of just rolled, like, just went with the flow, right? We just try to like do the right thing, and then when it got down to the end of the season, we were like, hang on now, like something. I feel like something clicked in our heads, and we were like, you know what? If we'd have done this right here differently, and we'd have done this differently, we'd be in a different spot right now. We're not playing around. Um, the two of you guys being an addition to our team proves that. It might not seem like that to anyone else because they're like, oh, Tar Heel Lunkers, okay, a bunch of no-name people, whatever. Well, we made it to the playoffs last year, and we're going to do it again this year. Um, what we've got working behind the scenes in our team is a whole different ball game than what it was last year.
Mm.
Um,
I like to hear that because if
I
you
think,
ain't winning, you're losing.
yeah,
Second
I mean,
place, you lost. I tell my kids that shit all the time, and they be telling teammates and stuff in their little league stuff. People don't
well,
like it, but you got to have that mentality to win. My thing is that I think what you have in fishing, people fish because they're scared to lose. You can't you can't you gonna lose, right? Fishing is one of the most losingest sports that there is out there, but you can't fish scared to lose. I mean, everybody like, well, what the fuck if I do this and lose? Well, bitch, what if you do this and win?
and
Like,
that's why.
I think fishing is a sport you have to. The mentality that you should have is to go out there to win. And maybe winning is winning first place. Maybe winning is getting a check and cover. Well, it doesn't matter. You define your own win, but you can't go out there and fish scared to lose.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you set goals, and maybe I'm setting our goal for our team right now, but I doubt that anyone's gonna disagree with me when, like, we're gonna win this, like we are. The work that each and every one of us have put into this, other than the fishing part, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work because we're all good friends. Yeah, we are. We can communicate. We make a good team, but we're all here for one reason, one thing that put us here. We can catch fish. We know how to catch fish, and it's one of the hardest things I've ever tried to do in my life. Really, I've played other sports. I've been good at them before. What I love doing is catching fish. And the same thing with you guys. This isn't about us going against each other for a change. It's about us working together as a team, even for those of us who are not fishing whichever game. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
can together, we can figure it out. I can be at this end of the lake, you can be at that end of the lake. We might be doing two different things, but it's so cool how the aspect of being able to work as a team in something that is not traditionally a team sport. And here we are,
100% individual sport. 100%. Yeah.
and we have proved it. And I've said this before, and I mean it. I would not have had the year that I had last year without my teammates. End of story. I had a pretty successful year finally last year, and I owe most of that success to you guys and the other to God. But it took my mind away from, like, yeah, Matt, you got to go out there, you got to win, you got to win. Well, I know the fish were doing this the other day. I just can't get it out of my head. This is how I think I should be catching them. I'm gonna catch them like this, and they're not doing it. When you're doing something, and you're doing something not just for yourself, it's a whole different ball game. it's like, well, I go to work. Okay, well, I have not cussed so and so out because I gotta feed my kid. So I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do so I can feed my kids and take care of my family. And to work together as a team, it's a whole different ballgame. It makes things, for me, it puts things on a different level. You know, I'm not doing this for me personally. I'm doing this for the rest of you guys, and that's what's so rewarding for me.
The other
You know,
part, the biggest part of this is so we have sponsors that we don't have to pay to fish in the tournaments, right? Now we have to pay our travel if we travel and stuff like that. But when it comes down to money, my reason for fishing local tournaments or any tournaments that are in my vicinity that I can make is to win money. Like that's why I fish them. In the KFL, you're not winning money unless you're
unless you make the playoff.
yeah, unless you're
Unless you
in the
don't make
money.
the playoffs.
Like you don't win money at the end of the tournament. You don't get to split up $100 amongst 4 people, to get you a Burger King burger on the way home. You don't get no money unless you make the playoffs. And you don't get no real money unless you make the championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There's
it's
a whole.
almost like the carrot at the end of the stick is like you can't just win one game and be.
That's right.
Yes, you got a long way to go.
Yeah.
You got to
do
win.
it. We did it last year.
Won't even matter.
We did it last year, and we weren't even like. I mean, we were trying, but we were, I mean, let's face it, we were being nice about it for whatever reason. We were just kind of going with the flow. Well, we know how it went last year, and we know what we're not going to do this year. That's where we're at. It's getting ready to start in a couple of days, and we're not playing around. Bottom line, I know I'm not.
But you gotta have a killer instinct. And you look at championship teams in sports.
I mean,
they had killer instincts.
We're going to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not bragging. We'll probably get beat, but I'm not gonna put my head down until this is done. And I know no one else will. So it's my team. I'm proud of my team, and I love my team. We're gonna go do what we got to do to make it happen, one way or another. Get beer, and I'll start getting out here all serious and shit, and be crying in a few minutes or
something. Look, Matt done had a yingling. He done cracked open one of his wife's grapefruit or White Claws. I saw him over there toting on a port earlier. Like we about to get Matt might fucking cuss tonight, y'all. He might say that cuss word.
That's the thing. I don't drink either.
I was gonna say he's got ice in his veins. We ain't got to worry about no. You just helped him not have to do this Friday night. Not that he would before, but we get it out of the system. It's all in.
So y'all getting hot out here on the porch.
Shit, Bo, I'm in my damn garage. I ain't even got no damn fresh air circulating up in here. I just got fans recirculating stink ass trash air up in my garage. I'm sweating. That's why I got sleeveless shirts on. It's summertime. Y'all about to see me in a lot of sleeveless shirts. I'm probably gonna have to make my own, but that's okay. I done outgrown this large barbecue shirt like 2 years ago. Anyway, we talked about the past. We talked about kind of where we are now, the expectations. What's gonna happen Saturday? What are we gonna do? I mean, to my knowledge, we don't know when the Alabama deadfall hammers are gonna be in town, or whatever their names are. We don't know anything about them coming to town, if they practice, if they pre-fish, because I went to Jordan one day this past spring, and there was an Alabama license plate at a launch where you can only launch kayaks, and it was a little interesting. So we don't know what kind of intel they have and what they've been doing over here. And you know how it is on the home waters with fishing. There's a lot of that home water curse that comes down to it. But what do we think's going to happen Saturday against the Bammer ball peen hammers?
Do I need to answer that question? Really?
Bo, I asked it. I want to answer.
All right. Well, I'll
Let Don Trail answer it.
I mean, I think they're playing Friday or Thursday, but
Yeah, I mean, I expect a couple of them or one or two to at least be in town at some point, pre-fish and got some intel spread to the rest of the team. But
Yeah.
I don't think it'll matter.
Let's be real. We ain't. These guys coming ain't no damn little slouches, right? I mean,
for the most part, you have.
Well, I don't know them that well, but we ain't talking about no damn little, they gonna have their shit together. They from fucking Alabama. All they know how to do is fish and spit tobacco.
And roll tide.
Handpicked, I mean,
and that's the other aspect of KFL. I mean, it's there's no slouches. I mean, everybody's team is handpicked, and so everybody goes out and handpicks the best of their area. And so you're gonna have to expect a battle week in, week out. Some teams travel well, some teams don't. Just depends on who you have on your team. If you have people who travel regularly on the national scene, I mean they're familiar with different types of bodies of water. But if you have a team full of people who just stick to their area, they can only fish rivers, or if they can only fish like deep reservoirs, they're gonna struggle in like somewhere like Florida or somewhere else. So it kind of depends.
That's one thing too that made me feel bad about coming on is I'm unable to travel this year. I mean, I think when you start looking at 8 people and you might have to travel down to Florida, which for us could be 16 hours, or if you're traveling to Alabama or Tennessee, that could be a 12-hour drive. I felt bad about it from my side on that, but that travel really does change the game for a lot of anglers because you can only get down on Friday, and then you're fishing not even an 8-hour day on Saturday. Like it's our fishing days for KFL are kind of constrained.
It's a little bit shorter.
It's 6 to 1. So that's a 7-hour day. Where usually we're getting 8 to 8.5 hours. That, and you think about it though, sometimes the fish don't turn on until the afternoon or the evening. But I do like that too, because you get these 1 to 7 o'clock games.
12 to
6 to 1, 1 to 7, right? Something like that. I know it ends at 7. Dude, I like those.
That's different too, because if you fish tournaments, you're never on the water that late. So it's different. And that was one of the things that kind of hurt us on Randomman too, because that was an afternoon game.
Ooh, okay. So because we'd only ever fish that water in the mornings.
Yeah, and it was 12 to 7 afternoon, bluebird skies, sun's blazing, hot as hell. So that was just a bad day all around. The worst time to be on the water. Those windows.
Not having those preconceived notions of where fish are and what they're doing helps a team like, the Hammers coming to town. Like, shit, let's try here. Here's everybody else going. The fish should be here, but yeah, it's different. We didn't even talk about that. That's crazy. There are the morning and the afternoon games, so you get to see a top water bite in the morning, and shad busting in the morning. And then you go into the heat of the fucking day
in June and July.
To the tail end of the
day. I think we're still in the heat of the day right now, y'all.
It's pretty warm out there today. It's pretty warm out there. Today and tomorrow's going to be warm for sure.
No. It wasn't even that
97 tomorrow. Well, it wasn't that humid today. I think it's going to be humid tomorrow.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that hot today, but it felt like I was sitting on the fucking devil's lap and he was licking my ear. That shit was terrible.
Well, y'all be good on Saturday. It's going to be a little better on Saturday.
You were wearing that shirt. He was probably trying to tickle you.
Well, I didn't have this shirt on, man. I only wear this shirt for you and my wife. And she don't tickle me no more. She just slaps me.
Don't answer that.
I'll tell you this. When I fish, when you want to talk about fishing, I want the wind blowing. I don't care how cold or how hot it is. I need 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. That's how I
No.
like to fish.
It ain't gonna happen for you, but
Yep, it's always one or the other, and it's always blowing in
Feast
the
or
winter
famine.
time. You don't need it.
Yeah, the wintertime is the one time I need that shit slick calm so I can sit over a fish because I can't afford spotlight, whatever the fuck it's called. See, told y'all I was colorblind, can't read straight, neither. I mean, damn, dyslexified. Anyway, great times. All right, we got closing arguments. Don Trail, who is your favorite NFL player?
Ooh,
No, dude, this is the answer.
Steve
Ain't no
Smith.
umming and oohing.
Steve Smith, the receiver for the Panthers.
Oh my dude,
Ice up, son.
my
Ice up.
one of my most favorite people to ever play a professional sport is that man right there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's shorter than Alex Swamp Rat Fishing, but by golly, he was. Oh, Matt's hung up again. Matt, wave if you're not hung up.
No, I'm not hung up. I'm just hanging
No,
out.
you hung up on our end. All right, we are going to run through these questions.
He's back.
All right, Matt,
Yeah.
Don Trail, we are going to run through the Bass and Brews questions because that's what we do here. And you're going
I
to
don't
have
get
to
to get my
answer.
NFL player. What's up with that? How come Dontrell get the special treatment?
Don't
I
ask
mean, I
me.
was just asking. I was trying to do a filler time before I brought up the "Don't fuck this up while Alex is gone" questions.
Well, there's a
And
theme here.
here
Luke
we are.
Kuechly. No questions
Okay,
asked. Luke Kuechly,
okay,
59,
Luke
middle
Kuechly. That's a
linebacker.
great one. That's a great one. I love it. Look,
Miss that guy.
Matt Dunn has drank a quarter of his Yingling. He's drank half his wife's White Claw. He has sucked down 2 porks and he's yawning. All right.
He's sleeping right there.
Dave's already answered these questions. So I'm going to ask it, and then y'all need to answer. There ain't no there ain't no thinking. You just answer it where it goes, all right?
Do we have to rapid fire?
Yeah, we call it the shotgun round, even though Alex, when he got back from his tour, started calling it something else. I'm like, motherfucker, you told me it was a shotgun round before you left. And then he's done, oh, shit, I almost forgot. Y'all, damn, I don't have no picture. Y'all need to go to Hooked Up North on Instagram. They have a new shirt out right now. It is a y'all look shirt with my fucking beautiful face on top of it.
You have a shirt with this on it?
I have a shirt with my face. This is complete surprise.
You're
2
going to be
weeks ago on the Hooks at Hoodlum cast, Ken and Josh from Hooked Up North show up with these shirts on, and it took me like 2 minutes to realize it was me. But anyway, it is a limited run on these shirts. There it is. That's it. Hooked Up North. Don Trail Screen has it on there, but Hooked Up North. Y'all look Bass and Brews shirts with my face on your titties.
Talk about
Go get it because it is a limited run. This is it. If you don't buy this shirt, and I'm pretty sure they extended because of the way they had to do it. They extended the orders to Friday because of the podcast. It might be in the Saturday, but regardless, it doesn't matter. This is the last week. Hooked Up North. Go get you a shirt with my face on your boobs.
Okay.
And this is a complete and total surprise to me. The only thing I'm getting out of this, y'all, is a free shirt. Because the Bass and Brews shirts, I've had to pay with my own money. Damn it. because our 5 listeners won't buy any, and Dave's been on the podcast twice, and he don't even listen anymore. Asshole. All right,
You back? I'll listen again.
Matt Dunn.
This is my first go round on this show, y'all.
Well, good luck. Your career's canceled after this.
Hope not. Well,
Crocs or flops?
What? Hold on, Crocs. Come on now.
Don Trail, Crocs or flops?
Oh, Crocs.
See. This y'all know y'all down here in North Carolina when people say Crocs. You know why? because we ain't little bitches.
I need a new pair. My one I have now have no tread left on them. They're slick.
Look, Bo.
Damn wet parking lots.
Yeah, I about busted my ass going to Bass Pro one time. You know the painted lines, the parking lot lines. You step on that, and that's like an ice. Yeah,
You like,
well, even with brand new Crocs, they slippery as hell. But mine, I don't wore the soles out on mine so bad that when I walk over rocks, the rocks poke through and poke me in the foot. Look, my dog also neutered mine. He chewed the fucking 4-wheel strap drives off of them. So
I don't have to put mine in 4-wheel drive. And they
look, in the summertime when I'm sweaty as shit and getting out in that water and trying to haul my damn kayak up that ramp, I need them in full drive because my feet feet slip out of the back of them.
I'm man enough to do that.
Don Trail, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes. I'll do a Hawaiian pizza.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Don't ask me that question. Don't ask me. I skip it. Don't ask me that question.
No, you got to answer it, Matt.
No.
Okay. Don Trail, I say this lovingly because I'm a fat person, but only fat people want pineapple on their pizza. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's a fruit. It's still a healthy option.
No, it's not that bitch. Look, you already got a carb bomb in your hand when you eat a slice of pizza. Now you adding some fruit on top of it.
Yeah.
Mellow mushroom, Maui Wowie. That's all you need to know.
I will say this. I have had pineapple on pizza with Canadian ham, and I will never call that shit Canadian bacon, but Canadian ham, aka regular ass old ham, and pineapple. But I need the pineapple and the ham to be like broiled, where it's a little crispy, a little black on the edges.
Yeah,
now that shit right there. Look, that dog a hunt right there now.
Straight out
that
the
dog
can.
a hunt.
No.
That dog a hunt.
Hey, I'm gonna meet y'all at the.
I'm only eating that pizza though if it shit's free. I ain't paying for that pizza, but I'll eat it.
But you'll eat
Hey,
it.
whatever ramp y'all end up at on Saturday, I'll meet y'all there with a Maui Wowie. It'll change your life.
That's fine. Okay, great.
We'll be free. It's on me.
Meet me at a ramp after a day of fishing, and I would probably eat a deep fried dog turd with corn in it. I mean,
you gonna say from the what to the what? You'd eat it.
Yeah, from the tits to the clips, boy. That's all. It's open game. Spend more on a rod or a reel, Matt.
What's the question?
Look. Just because you skinny don't mean that you can't not listen. You just spend more on a rod or a reel.
Rod.
Good. Don Trail.
Real recently.
Look, you've been upgrading shit like nobody's business too. You must have got a raise at work because you've been putting some damn good shit on your stuff.
Last year.
Hey, did you put you a cranking rod?
And Shimano Corrados ain't cheap.
Well, they ain't expensive for what you get either, though.
No, I mean, well, right as of now, that's my favorite reel. The Corrado.
But
I'm gonna sell him on that MGL reel.
Oh Lord! Look, now you're trying to get up.
Yeah, I haven't tried those yet.
Shit. Hey, did you get a cranking rod yet, Don Trail?
Not yet.
But are you looking at the Alpha angler rods?
I've been doing.
Did you talk to Joe yet?
Yeah, I messaged him right after you texted me.
Joe LaBarbo now. Y'all go listen to the last episode. We had an impromptu 3-hour Friday night podcast. Me and Joe. I had to go. I got up at like 4:00 next morning, go fishing on like 45 minutes of sleep. So y'all go listen to that. But Joe's got his shit together, man. I'm about to get me an Alpha Angler rod cranking. I like what I hear. I'm gonna give it a try. All right, Don Trail, 3-hour session, 5 2-pounders or 1.7.
1.7.
Matt Dunn.
1.7.
Yeah. Only thing with Matt though is his ass goes out there and catches 5 7s So
before. I know that first trip you and I had, I did, or well, just the one. But
we out there fishing. It's like 22 degrees.
it
We
was
out
like,
there fishing.
for real, this is the only shit they bite. I'm telling you, they might bite other
Yeah.
shit. I'm telling you, this right here works.
Out there vertical jigging some bullshit. He catches a 7-pounder, and I pull over there to he's got a 7-pounder in his hand. He's shaking.
Yeah,
It's been a long time since I caught fish. I pedal over there, but like, let me get a picture. He's got a 7-pounder in his hand, about ready to get a picture of him. He goes, "You ain't got no shoes on." I was barefoot, 25 degrees outside. He got a 7-pounder in his hand. He's like, "You ain't got no shoes on." I'm like, "Bitch, you holding a 7-pound fish?"
So,
Do what, Matt? We lost the audio. It's terrible. I don't know what you do. You either drunk or.
I basically said the same thing you said because you didn't have shoes on in the wintertime, and I'm like out there like in layers, several layers, and I've got like
heated socks. He has no socks.
It's crazy, but you're
Yeah.
and I'm just not.
Well, that's what happens when you're fat and stupid versus being skinny and brilliant. 3-hour session, 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder. We have answered that question. Why the fuck didn't y'all tell me? Matt Dunn, wacky or Texas rig?
Texas rig.
Texas rig.
Ooh, Don Trail, really?
Yeah, wacky is like a last resort for me.
Wacky is whack.
It works, but it's I don't know why. It's just one of those things. It's too slow.
I don't like this question because I don't wacky rig. I don't wacky rig, but I Nico rig, and I'll throw a wacky rigged Cinco on a drop shot now. So this is a question we got some new questions. Alex started asking a new question. We'll get into this one right now.
I mean, same thing. I'll do the same thing. If it has some weight to it, I can fish.
Well, a flick shake or a Nico rig, that's how I'm throwing a wacky rig. I ain't throwing that bitch just regular rig. I don't have time for that. I don't have the patience. Ain't happening.
And it's for the drop 2 feet.
Don Trail.
I'll keep beating you on local tournaments between now and May.
Hey, Dave, this is a question for you too.
I get a new question. I'm excited, man.
This is a new one, but we're gonna start with Don Trail. Don Trail, Alex Rudd, overrated or underrated?
Underrated.
Dave, Alex Rudd, underrated or overrated?
Can I go happy medium? Because I appreciate everything he does.
Nope.
Underrated.
Okay. Matt
underrated.
Dunn, Alex Rudd, overrated or underrated?
I'll say underrated.
Alex Rudd is overrated. All these guys are wrong. He's awesome now. I love him. I'm just kidding. Alex Rudd is underrated. Y'all go listen to his shit. He's awesome.
Yeah, I like him, but I don't get to do much like watching videos and stuff. So.
Hey, a dude that fishes out of a bass boat will fish out of a kayak like it's nobody's business and win tournaments. And I just saw he quit his daytime job and doing it full time.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's a stick, man. He's got it all together.
Hey, old boy will throw a crankbait. He'll throw a wacky rig. He'll throw it all, and he'll go catch fish. And he's one of these anglers that just has that patience. He picks up on stuff quick. He's good. But yes, I agree. One day we're gonna have somebody say overrated, and I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. Somebody thinks he's overrated. One day we're gonna find that overrated Alex Rudd participant in Bass and Brews. All right, Matt. Slow jams or hype music?
Hype music.
What? Like death metal hype music? Or are we listening to like some fucking Eminem, 1998 Eminem killing him bullshit?
I don't listen to like straight up like death metal, but I mean I listen to like metal. Like, yeah, I like metal. No country. I don't do country. I don't do country music. I grew up listening to country music and don't do it. If your question was, do you like country music, or would you rather lay on your back and throw up in the air and let it land in your face? I'd rather do that. I don't do it.
I've never heard of that analogy before, but that would be a reason. That would be a way to really say you hate country music, because throwing up in your own face is pretty fucking pretty nasty.
I'm just about as country as they come. You know, I'm at peace when I'm in the woods. Well, on the water, really, but I mean, I can go walk around as long as I don't see a snake. I'm good. But yeah, I just don't. Yeah, metal.
So Matt just told us that he's only about 0.6667% country, because when he sees a snake, he turns into a bitch. Don Trail, hype music or slow jams?
Hype music.
What kind of hype music we listening to, Hoss?
Country.
Don't say country.
Wagon wheel. I like that wagon wheel.
Look, if somebody tells me they like hype music and they say some kind of goddamn country song, this is what happens. Somebody tells me that shit, they gone. They gone.
Dang.
He didn't say that. I'm just giving an example. Don Trail, hype music. What kind of hype music we listen to, Hoss?
Sometimes I like to go back to like 2000s, like early mornings on the road, on the ride over to the boat ramp in the morning before tournament. I played DMX is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Hey, Don Trail, what the fuck were you listening to on the Falls Lake tournament last fall when you came at like 80 miles an hour to the Eno River ramp? You were late, and people were like, who the fuck is this? We're all in the water, and we hear you coming down that fucking gravel road, and it's just like, man, that's Don Trail. What the hell were you listening to that morning?
I don't even remember. I remember showing up to the ramp. I remember showing up to the ramp. Yeah, that was my first time showing up.
Come in like that. He'll come in hot in a heartbeat now. But I will too.
Dude, it wasn't even hot. People are like, God damn, should we get out the way? We were in the water. I'm like, let's scoot up river a little bit. Dave, were you out there that morning?
No, I wasn't up there. Okay. I hate I missed that.
That was Mitch, Robert Randolph, me. It was somebody else. I can't remember who else was. Somebody else. But anyway, Don Trail's coming, and Mitch and Robert Randolph like, who the fuck is this? And it's Don Trail. And Mitch is like, holy shit, is he gonna stop? Look, y'all got to understand, this is a gravel road. It's kind of some dirt mixed in with some rock.
See that's a little tidbit, little intimidation factor. Whoever we play on the road in KFL, he's gonna roll up like that, blaring something, and they're gonna shake. They're gonna shake.
May or may not have done it themselves there.
Yeah, that was like a 2-mile gravel road.
Road forever.
Look, there's a couple things I will not lose at. One of them is being at the ramp first, and the other one is being the fastest one out the ramp. Now, since they got some motors that can go 6 miles per hour now, I can't keep up. But if I got to, I can pedal my Hobie fully loaded at 5.5 miles an hour for 2 miles. And if I got to do that to beat somebody, I'm going to do it. Justin Faircloth last year said, God damn, you the Lance Armstrong of kayak fishing. I'm like, you damn right, minus the drugs and Sheryl Crow.
We got a job for you on an unnamed lake, one of our KFL matchups. I'll talk to you. Between you and Steve Perry putting nitrous in his trolling motor, we're going to get there. So,
yeah.
He's going to send
it's already settled.
Yeah. All right. Don Trail, you ever eaten beaver?
No. Depends.
Whoa, no. It's
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Matt Dunn, you ever eaten beaver?
No.
Red deer, no beaver.
Dave, you ever eaten beaver?
I shot and killed a squirrel in my backyard with a blow dart gun, but I've never eaten beaver.
Okay, so Matt Dunn is now only half country. He has lost a third. He's half country because he's scared of snakes and hadn't eaten beaver.
I didn't know people ate beaver.
Oh, you didn't.
Are you serious?
Let's not specify. What
Look,
type
man,
of
there ain't no specifications. I don't. What the fuck's wrong with you, dirty ass minded people? When I ask this question, people are like, "Oh my god, I can't answer that," and I'm like, "What
makes me country?
Huh?
Part of what makes me country.
Well, I'll tell you what. Look, my 4 rodents
Yeah,
that I'll eat.
No.
4 rodents that I'll eat in order, and one of them ain't a rotor, but a rotor. Goddamn, a rodent. Beaver's number 1. Squirrel's number 2. Possum is number 3.
No.
But the possum's got to be in like a hash. And then it ain't a rodent, it's a marsupial. But I'll tell you
possum
what,
and marsupial?
Well, I'm getting ready
possum,
so hang
a
on.
possum is delicious.
Go
It's a
possum.
marsupial. Yeah, it's a marsupial pouch.
What's the 4th one?
Well, that is the fucking 4th. A beaver, a squirrel, a coon, and a possum.
What was the 3rd one?
Coon.
A coon. Oh, you mixed. Okay, gotcha. Well, I throw one at you. What about snapping turtle? That's a aquatic.
Bitch, it ain't even gotta be a snapping turtle. We just turtle.
I've wanted to eat one. I've caught a couple big ones out of my in-laws' pond. I wanted to eat them.
Ain't even gotta be a snapping turtle. A big old river cooter bites the hook and you reel it in, and he's all hooked bad.
Stew it up.
His ass getting ate.
Snapping turtle.
Never had it.
Now tell me, do you stew the whole dang shell, or how do you prepare that?
Well, with us, we pretty much ripped off the bottom shell, ripped off the core. I mean, it ended up gutting it and ripping it out the other shell and just threw it on the grill. So it kind of looked like a back strap with 4 little legs hanging off the side. It wasn't nothing special. And honestly, it wasn't that good. It was chewy and it wasn't a lot of meat. I mean, but unfortunately, it died. We didn't keep big snapping turtles where I was from. We ran across a lot, but we typically we didn't eat those for some reason.
We need to maybe that could be our year end Tar Heel Lunkers celebrations. We'll catch some snapping turtles and stew them up.
So I need to find. I used to have a bear connect in North Carolina. We need to get us a big old bear to cook.
We do that too. We do it all.
Look, I'll cook a hog like nobody business now.
We'll try beaver. We'll all eat it. So we can all say yes to that question this time next year.
Hell, boat. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. We can go to Sharon Harris right now, and I guarantee you, if we left out here tomorrow morning, we'd come home with a beaver. I guarantee it. I know where they are.
Them son of a guns are humongous now. That's the bitch come up beside you.
Boom. Yeah. They'll make a
And
racket.
I ain't talking about the beavers over there off Avon Ferry Bridge, hiding under the bridge doing methamphetamines. I'm talking about beavers in the lake.
Well, there's some in Raleigh, Lake Raleigh, in the back of Lake Raleigh.
I believe it.
A little less real estate, easier to find.
The meth beavers?
Not water beavers.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I jumped up and down on that hut and ran like a dozen of them out one day.
You get your little bit of tannerite, you get a whole mess of them, just like that.
All right, this is the most important question of the whole night. If y'all fuck this up, this is Ended Careers. Dark Waters podcast. Like 2 weeks after this. Done. Gone. It's the most famous one. This question is the most important question you'll ever have on your podcast endeavors. And we aren't even like a really good podcast, so good luck. Don Trail, top 3 sandwich proteins.
Peanut butter, ham, and turkey. Nope.
Safe. Would you put all 3 of those together and eat it?
No, not with peanut butter, no.
Hold up. Your number 1 protein is peanut butter, but you wouldn't put it with number 2 and number 3 protein and eat it?
I would not have a peanut butter ham and turkey sandwich.
Let's say let's say we try this Saturday afternoon. I'll break it. I'll make it.
You know, sure, I'll try it.
No. Look, I don't waste food in my house. If I make it, we eating the whole damn sandwich. All right, it's done. Me and Dontrell are eating peanut butter, ham, and turkey sandwich, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it.
The whole thing. It's 2 full loaves of bread, peanut butter, ham, and turkey. I will put 2 pieces of turkey, 6 pieces of ham, and peanut butter goes on both slices of bread. All right. Matt Dunn.
Sure, it'd be fine if you made me a turkey, chicken, and ham sandwich.
Turkey, chicken, and ham.
Yeah.
That all works.
Yeah, you can do that.
Look.
On a corn on blue with turkey.
Look,
I want to redo my question.
No. Look, this the problem. This the problem with doing this podcast with 2 people is the other one gets to think about his question a little bit more than the first one.
Yeah,
I watched 8 episodes before I came up with my answer. So I can't
Look, Dave was not only was Dave prepared for the questions, he had his own questions that he asked.
Well, I figured people were sick of hearing the same questions. So I had questions for Paul. I don't even remember what they were. I do remember one here, and I think this is valid for everybody. This is a good question, especially if you're down here.
Yes, I wear underwear. Jesus.
Chick-fil-A sauce or Polynesian sauce?
Polynesian.
Chick-fil-A.
What?
Chick-fil-A.
Tiebreaker, Dontrell. Yeah, see? That's what's up. Chick-fil-A sauce.
Chick-fil-A sauce is almost as overrated as their chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I don't have time for sauce. I just eat it and go.
Just the plain chicken nuggets, not the chicken minis.
No. Just if you get their chicken with no bread and pickle, it's overrated.
You better start a war. You better watch it.
Look, Michael Wiggs can come at me, but I promise you, I will break his little skinny ass short neck too. I will throw him in his PA-12 and I'll kick it out there, and then I'll go hug him and help him back to land.
All I know is Chick-fil-A needs to save the world one family at a time. Because if you have kids, they need to give you a college scholarship for as much Chick-fil-A as you buy in your life. Good grief. Of course it's their pleasure. When they say my pleasure, yeah, they know.
They done made $75 per person.
Unbelievable. That's in a week.
Now, look, I'll tell you what, one of the greatest joys of eating in my life, and I'm a fat motherfucker, so I like eating, is a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, fresh out the fryer on that hot toasted bun with extra pickles drizzled in honey mustard. The Chick-fil-A honey mustard.
Yeah.
That shit, oh, Lord, that shit right there will make you put a baby in a woman. I'm telling you. All right, closing statements. Closing statement. We've been hour 30 minutes. This is perfect. We're not going to go to 2 hours. We're not going to 2.5 hours. We almost done. Alex is going to be able to cut and do all his shit to this to send stuff out since I got it done before Thursday. This has been a good one. Like, I thought we were just going to talk about KFL and Tar Heel Lunkers, and people are going to be like, this shit sucks, and cut it off. And if they didn't listen to the end, they missed some good shit. And we'll have people cut it off early. I mean, you know what? They probably have ED, but that's okay. There's medications for that. I mean, erectile dysfunction happens in people who don't enjoy life. But here we are. So, what I have to say, Dave, shout-outs. What's your shout-out, Sauce?
Shout-outs, man. So, obviously, all my teammates here in the Lunkers, and I'll just give kudos to the KFL. Looking forward to it. My first event will be Neely Henry here in a couple weeks, so tough away game. And just, hey, 2018's 8 anglers per team. You know, everybody's going to be comfortable in their home lakes. You got to put in your homework on the away games. Kudos to let the best teams win, and let's duke it out and see how it goes. So just, you know, I know we already got a couple guys that are down and out for a little bit. So hopefully everybody stays safe the rest of the year, and let's get after it.
Matt Dunn, shout out.
I also would like to give a major shout out to everyone on our team, all of our sponsors. I can't even, and that's the thing. Moving forward, I need to get the list in front of me. I don't have my jersey on. BT's got his on. Can't see it, but all of our sponsors that sponsored our team and made all this possible. And then,
Dude, we got a couple major sponsors.
we got some major sponsors, and Mike
Mhm.
for getting those sponsors. Then I'd like to thank my sponsors, which I only have 2 of them, but I'm very thankful for both of them, Carolina Waters and Swagger Tungsten. Yeah, I mean, I only have 2 sponsors for 2 reasons. I'm not that great, and I really support anyone that I wouldn't. You know, if I'm not going to use their stuff, why would I support them? So,
Well, that's different, and then you throwing out the stupid ass content that I'm not that great. I mean, okay, Matt.
well,
I've only won every fucking thing the last 3 years that there is to win competition around here.
He's preseason 15th in the whole KFL, and then only go up from here. So there you go.
Look,
I mean,
look, I will tell you this. Look, hold on. Those rankings, I'm not sure where they got that stuff from.
well, they don't know me that well.
But I will say this. Whoever made those rankings, I think, knows the KFL, right? They have some intel from last year of how people fished, and if they fish it, like they have some intel that others don't. Because my boy Jordan was like, I don't even know like a third of these people. You know, what's this ranking? And I think that's where you're seeing some of this KFL stuff come into. Is there's some folks out there that traveled that weren't necessarily in Hobie or Bass or KBF that did some fishing. They did some fishing and people took note. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Matt Dunn, don't let us fucking down, Hoss. That's all I got to say on you. Don't let us
Ain't
down.
gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
Don Trail,
my
holla
last
out your people, dude.
I mean, of course, Lunkers, and a few of my sponsors, Biz Baits, True South, and Titan Tuxton, Falcon Hooks, and my newly brought on sponsor, Carolina Waters.
boom.
Congratulations on that. Tell
It's
us.
also one of our sponsors for the team in general. Carolina Water sponsors us as a team.
Tell us about True South. I hear that a lot. I'm not familiar with them, and I know they're in this area.
Yeah, they're pretty much under Biz Baits. They're on the terminal tackle side. So your jigs and stuff from Biz Baits are basically True South. They have a really good. I love their Rockstar finesse jig.
Yeah,
I use that a lot. Then you have your spinner baits, buzz baits, pretty much anything that isn't a soft plastic is True South.
Their swim jigs are unreal. I've caught a lot of fish on them lately. I never really threw swim jigs much, but looking forward to throwing them more.
Nice.
Yeah, I need to
Good
get
quality, real good quality stuff.
I'm not a swim jig guy. I don't think I've probably tied one on a handful of times, but I'll give it a shot this year.
So I did a reaction video. This brought up Don Trail. I'm not laughing at you. I did a
Your
reaction
dog
video.
pooping in the background, Don Trail. Sorry.
Oh no,
Oh, your dog took a shit.
No,
I saw the tail up. I was like, uh-oh. He been on here too long.
Dude, Don Trail, if your dog would have took a shit in the background of this podcast, I swear to God, this would have been the greatest podcast we have ever done on Bass and Brews, and we have had some doozies. if your dog was shitting in the background, hey, why don't you go give her some lactose and look, damn.
I got one here. Oh no, mine moved. I thought I had one too.
I thought Dave was about to open the door and his son was going to be over there to sleep.
Nah, he went to bed. The dog was sleeping out there. I don't know what happened.
Dontrell, your dog shitting behind you. Oh, no, he's good.
Hey, Lily Bug.
She was food behind me. She was eating her food.
That's my.
He's like, what's up with that? I don't like that.
I want to shout out a teammate. Carolina Lunker Hunters podcast. Chris, when the hell are you gonna do some more fucking podcasts, dude?
I know that's a good question.
Like, what's up with that, man?
Man, he brought that up. He was on the CKA Baden recap last night, I think, 2 nights ago. No, last night, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm just like he's just been busy, man. He's full on with his he writes and covers Bassmaster events. And he's just been.
I own my own business, and I get this shit out, and he only does like 30-minute podcasts. Here's the problem. Chris out here trying to edit his podcast. That's when you quit podcasting, is when you try to edit shit because no.
So what you're trying to say is it's a call out, not a shout out. It's a call out. That's a big difference.
Call out.
Okay.
Look, I don't give a shit what you do to your podcast, but damn it, Chris, Carolina Lunker Hunters podcast, you need to put out some more damn podcasts, because when I turn my shit on Mondays and it ain't there on either Monday or Tuesday when I want to listen to it, I get really angry. It fucks my day up.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna puff his chest. He just won an event, so he's gonna interview himself again. That'll be his first. I hope it is, man. I hope it is. Good for him.
I'm gonna have him on, and I'm just gonna chastise him the whole time. And either he's gonna quit and formally announce it, or he's gonna put shit out again. It's bullshit. He does a good podcast. I want to hear his wife talk about baits and shit.
That is a good little bit. I like that too.
Yeah. I mean, that's everybody loves that part. But then he has all the local anglers, and look, we getting off topic like hell. People dropping off like flies. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about North Carolina kayak angling. I'm like, you know what? I do though. So he needs to bring his shit back. All right. Anybody else got any closing arguments? Any call outs? Do you want to call somebody a dumb motherfucker tonight before we get off? Maybe it's a coworker. Maybe it's a boss. They ain't listening. Now's your time.
I'll go back to your question I didn't answer. Call out to the Alabama Hammers. And I think what Matt Dunn really wanted to say earlier was, what's the outcome going to be? They're going to beat him so bad on that lake, they're going to hire him as a guide for the afternoon. That's how it's going to go down. That's what Matt really wants to say. But they're sticks, man. You know it. They're going to bring it, and we'll see how it goes. All the confidence in the world on this side, though.
Yeah. If you don't have confidence on your home lake, you might as well not travel to another fucking tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. Oh, well, we're at Jordan. I don't know. It could go either way. Motherfucker, no, we're going to beat the shit out y'all. And then we're going to grab a Bud Light, 8% alcohols from the refuel over there on Highway 64. Go to Hardee's and get a burger and enjoy it together. And then, we're going to throw french fries at you because we whoop your ass. That's what we're going to do. That's what's going to happen. Probably not. But, it'd be fun. Anyway, all right. Anything else before we get on up out of here?
I'd just like to thank you for having me on here, Paul. I appreciate it.
Thank me after Friday when this bitch drops and people are like, what the fuck is Matt done to himself? And Dontrell, good luck with water sauce. Are they gonna listen to this shit and be like, no. I'm just kidding. This is a great podcast. We do enjoy the shit out of this. We have great guests on. Our guests have been fishing for 6 months, a year, 50 years. It doesn't matter. We look to bring interesting people on, creating content. That's what we like to do here. And we don't care how many followers you got, how many subscribers you got. That shit don't matter to us. We want you to come on, holler at us to be on this podcast. Thank you for listening. If you have stuck around this long, check out KFL. Follow them. They have a fantasy league. Takes you to Fantasizer. You can set up. Go check that out and participate. I'm going to participate. I've been participating in the kayak fantasy side of it. I've been participating in the bass fantasy stuff. I was just on podcast Serious Angler with that. It's a good time, and if you're into fishing, it's a great way to keep in touch with the sport. Kayak fishing is going places next year, next 5 years. Thanks for listening. This is Bass and Brews podcast. Appreciate y'all coming on. Jigs and Bigs. Check Jigs and Bigs out. Tar Heel Lunkers. Hooked Up North. Go get your Paul Heels. Y'all look shirts. My face on your boobs. Hookset Hoodlums. Make sure you check out the Hookset Hoodlums. We love you. Hey-o.
Hey!